Though Lady Sylvanas and her Forsaken finally took vengeance upon their hated enemy, the Lich King, their dark crusade in Northrend proved costly. Betrayed by Grand Apothecary Putrus at the Battle of Wrathgate, the Forsaken's devious plague of death was unleashed upon both the Alliance and the Horde to calamitous effect. Unbeknownst to Sylvanas, Putrus and his demonic ally, Veramathras, had taken control of the Undercity. As a result, the Forsaken were wrongly blamed for the traitor's atrocities. Though the Undercity was eventually retaken, Sylvanas and her followers still bear the weight of Putrus' sins. Mistrusted by the other members of the Horde, the Forsaken must now prove their loyalty to the cause and redeem themselves from their supposed treachery. To this end, Sylvanas has bolstered her defenses within the Tirisfal Glades and readied her undead forces for any contingency. As one of the Forsaken, you must use your cunning and viciousness to slay any who would pose a threat to Sylvanas' rule, be they human, undead, or otherwise.
Oh, that's actually a lot of responsibility to put on my flimsy, bony, undead shoulders. Quite frankly, I'm not sure I'm up for all of that. Maybe I should have rolled a Blood Elf, then I could go hang out with Lorthamar and not actually do anything for the next 3 expansions. That would be a lot easier. Maybe I should do that. We will see. But for now, you are watching Divide by Zero Gaming. I am Ines, and what you are looking at right now is the new, redone Forsaken starting zone. I say redone, and what I actually mean by that is, hey, this has been around since the Shattering, so it's not that new, but I only recently ran an alt for the first time. I have been fairly recently exposed to this, and it is, honestly, some of the absolute best questing I have done in WoW to date. It is just, oh, so good. The starting zone, like what we're looking at right now, isn't terrific. I mean, it's good. Like, it's on par with everything else in Cataclysm. So, you know, Cataclysm questing has always been better than what we have had previously. It's definitely revamped questing and done a good job with it. And a lot of the stuff we're going to see around this area, oh yeah, there's a creepy eyeball. That image was actually featured in postcards from Azeroth for anybody who watches Azeroth Daily. So yeah, that's why I zoomed in on it there. But as I was saying, this is kind of on par with the rest of Cataclysm questing. And down through Tirisfal Glades, that's all on par. It's good. It's what you would expect from Cataclysm, but then once you get into Silverpine Forest and that whole area, it just gets so incredible. It's fantastic. I love it so much. So I'm going to make a video series documenting this. It's going to run for a while past the starting zone. It's probably going to go all the way down to, say, level 28, 29 up there, until we get down through kind of Terran Mill, Hillsbrad Foothills, and into Arathi Highlands is where the questing stuff's getting more generic again. But up until then, it is really, really good. So I'm going to be making videos about this, and what you're seeing right now, you wake up in the beginning, not wake up, get resurrected. I guess that's kind of like waking up in a weird way. I don't know, I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of all of that. And you're lying on the ground, there's a Valkyr in front of you, and the Valkyr resurrects you, and you are Forsaken. And you then go and get the first quest to get the stitching stuff and the embalming fluid and whatever all that stuff is called, so that the caretaker can sew up some new guys. And then you get 2 more quests after you do that. The first is to go and kill some of these mindless zombies who basically, upon being resurrected as Forsaken, went crazy, and now they're just shambling around. You can see this guy coming up to give me a hug there. Isn't he a nice guy? Too bad I have to kill him. And we also get this other quest where we go around and talk to various people who've been resurrected. So that was the first guy you just saw. He's pretty chill with the whole being Forsaken thing, probably because he was an orc in a past life, so he's down with the Horde. And we have 2 other people who will be less happy. You can see those arrows there indicating who we need to talk to. This first person, Lillian Voss, is an interesting character. She is not at all happy about being Forsaken, and she will show up again. As you can see, she has blue Death Knight eyes. Not entirely sure why. It's a little bit mysterious. And I'm actually not like trying to be suspenseful. I honestly don't know. They kind of leave that quest thing line hanging, as you will see in the future, which is really disappointing because it could have been cool. So next we have this guy, Marshall Redpath, who actually, when I did this quest the first time, I was on a Skype call with Redo, I was chatting with him, and I thought I recognized the name, so I had him run a Google search for me. As it turns out, Marshall Redpath used to be a NPC in Hillsbrad Foothills, so the fact that they brought him back like this, really pretty cool, nice little attention to detail there. And again, he's not too happy about being Forsaken. He says that he's going to go off and, quote, start his own Forsaken with elbows. We will see the results of that later. Doesn't work out too great for him, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So now we're going to turn in these quests, and you may have also noticed this big guy running around behind me at certain points. You'll see him again in just a moment. He's just this little NPC follower blah, that you get. He's a cool guy, actually. I like him. And spoiler alert, no, he is not like the guy in the troll starting zone that gets killed. This guy lives happily. It is fantastic. He does have a very pleasant little parting that doesn't involve him dying, and hold on a second because I am almost out of footage. Alright, there we go. Had a little issue there where I actually hadn't put the next block of footage into the timeline of my recording software, or my editing software rather, so I was about to start recording voice over blank footage. And that would be boring for you because you couldn't see the footage, and it would be confusing for me because I couldn't see the footage. I would just have to make stuff up and pretend that's actually what happens in the undead starting zone. So, yeah, now Deathwing comes in and we're just like, please, and we punch him in the face and he dies and we save the world. Nothing quite that epic happens, unfortunately, but some pretty epic stuff does happen, as you will see. Anyway, back to Reality Land. I call it Reality Land, even though it's a video game. But we get sent down the hill into Death Knell, where we're going to pick up our next quest line, and once again, you can see this big guy whose name I'm totally forgetting running along beside me. And I'm a rogue, by the way, in this, in case you hadn't noticed. That's the class that I chose to play as, just because I've never really played a rogue before. I thought it might be a little bit fun. So now we pick up some quests, and I'm just going to level with you guys here. I actually don't remember what happens now. I think this is the quest. Yes, it is. This is the quest with the Scarlet Corpses, where you have to go out and harvest some corpses. Pleasant, isn't it? That's what you should expect when you play Undead. We are not a happy, pleasant, sunshine and rainbows race. If you want that, I don't know, go... I'm trying to think of it. There really is no equivalent of that in WoW. It's not a happy, sunshine, rainbows universe. Now, we also get a quest in here to... I could tell you what was going on if the resolution was good enough for me to actually see my screen in my recording software, but the first quest we get is to go and pick up some Scarlet Corpses so that they can be resurrected. And this is a fun little mechanic that makes use of your big lumbering friend. It's a nice twist on a collection quest because you point at the corpses and he just flips them up and starts carrying them around. And now that I've attacked this guy, I know what the other quest was. You just have to go out and kill some rambling leftover Scourge guys that are still running around haunting this place. So yeah, kill some Scourge, select some corpses. You guys really don't need to see all that, so I'm just going to shoot ahead. It just took me forever to find the fade transition in my library, which is a really sad statement because the entire thing is organized alphabetically, so that should have been a lot easier than it was, but hey, it's Friday, it's been a long week, I'm brain dead, give me a break. Anyway, these next quests that we are going to do involve a number of things. First of all, we get the generic and obligatory go to your class trainer and learn ability X and use ability X Y times on target Z. So I'm not even going to bother showing that. I've cut it out. It's just... I mean, I'll show myself like talking to the trainer, but I'm not going to make you watch me use Eviscerate on a target like 10 times. You've all seen a rogue use Eviscerate. You know what it looks like. It's nothing exciting. It's nothing new. But the next quest, and this gets a little bit more cool, we re-meet our friend Lillian Voss, and oh, I was super smart here. I ran into the wrong building because I can't read a map properly. So yeah, they're actually in this building, not the building that I just walked into. So here we have my class trainer, and he's going to tell me to pay him to learn an ability. That's like the worst quest ever. Give me money. Just really? That's really a quest. Really. Capitalism is running Azeroth into the ground. We need to instill some good old-fashioned Forsaken communism here. Everybody teaches each other abilities for free, and it's yeah. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't say those last few sentences, actually. Anyway, oh look, Lillian Voss in the corner. Convenient distraction to prevent me from embarrassing myself further. We have to go show her her reflection because for some reason we decide that because she's afraid of Forsaken, it's a good idea to hold a mirror in her face and say, "Hey, look, your jaw's rotting," which we do right there. And of course, she freaks out and she runs away. So that could have gone better. All things considered, it was really a poorly thought out plan, I will admit that. So right there, I ran into the eviscerate thing that I said I wasn't going to make you watch, and I'm true to my word, I am not a liar. So not going to bother you guys with those little details, and now we can run back into this abandoned, creepy church thing. Why are they just chilling out in an abandoned church, come to think of it? Like, don't they have anything better to do? Like, seriously, Brill got updated, Terran Mill got updated. Why not Death Knell? Why is Death Knell still made of ruined human buildings? Like, what possible purpose could that serve? I guess they're just lazy. They don't care about the newbies enough to reset their starting zone. And honestly, I can't blame them too much. So our next quest involves leaving the safety of Death Knell, going out into the dangerous battlefields filled with level 2s and even level 3s. Ooh. Yeah, so scary. And we have to talk to this cool Deathstalker guy here, and he's going to give us some more quests. So upon seeing us, he makes fun of our gear score and tells us that we need to go get some better gear. And of course he's not just going to give us the better gear because, hey, that would be too simple. Who cares if you're a soldier? You still gotta work for your items. This is nothing like the real world where they actually hand soldiers ammunition and weapons. Nope. Here we have to work for everything we have. How would that be in the real life if like there were epic guns and certain soldiers were regarded as being super awesome because they had this epic gun that you could only get from like going to some obscure nation and going into the mountains, and I don't even know. I was going to say like kill a dragon, but there are no dragons in the real world, so that kind of derailed my plan a tiny bit. So that next quest that you just saw that I completely talked over was like one I was talking about where he tells us we need better gear. And in that one he sends us out to go and kill some darkhounds, or some wolves, I guess they weren't darkhounds, and some dusk bats to get their pelts. It is a 100% drop chance, so you only have to kill 4 of each. You're not going to be standing there forever farming it like an Outland where it's a 1 in 70 drop chance for everything. I just got out of Outland. Can you tell I'm a little bit bitter about that area? Because I am. It's awful. The quests are terrible. Okay. Stay focused, MS. The bad Outland is gone now. It's all good. It's all okay. This next quest involves going and killing spiders. Again, not the most terribly interesting thing in the world. But hey, it is a starting zone. You don't really expect it to be too incredibly awesome. Which is kind of a shame, really, considering they're like first impression of the game. It would be nice if starting zones were something super incredibly awesome, epic, kind of like the Troll starting zone with that nice boss fight at the end of it. That was actually a very good starting zone, having done it, I must say. I quite enjoyed that. And you guys are probably sitting there just face palming right now, so bored out of your mind from watching this and then hearing me talk about this just to make it worse. I assure you, it does get better. You haven't seen it in this video, and speaking of which, I'm actually about to end this video. You saw me killing the spiders there, by the way. That's the spiders you need to kill. They're in a mine. You'll see the spot on your minimap. Easy to kill, just go kill some of them, come back, turn in the quest, and it's going to send you off on another quest where we're going to re-meet our old friend Marshall Redpath, but we will cover that in another video because I'm running low on time. Again, I promise you, this does get better. It gets so much better. Just bear with me through this initial area, and I promise you the questing is going to get epic. You're going to be blown away, and if you haven't rolled an undead yourself since the Shattering, I highly suggest you do it because the questing is just so good. Even though I have shown you nothing to prove that, take my word for it. trust that I am a trustworthy guy. So yeah, here we're speaking to Darnell. You will see where this quest line goes in the next video. I'm just going to leave you with a cliffhanger here because I'm such a jerk. Anyway, thank you for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want, and I will see you guys next time.